on the Wado Radio Show.
Yeah, man, that was the sounds in South Carolina this week at the State House when the Confederate flag was taken down and folded and put away, hopefully forever, from flying over that State House. And probably that flag is going into a museum. Listen, I'm DJ Wado. You're listening to the Wado Radio Show. It's more than music. It's ministry, man. That was a very important step, not just in the history of the state of South Carolina, but also in the history of our country, United States, man. That Confederate flag has so much meaning for a lot of people. And for many of us, man, it symbolizes racism. It symbolizes hate. It symbolizes a group of people who wanted to tear away from the country so they could continue to practice slavery, which obviously is a harmful reminder of our past, man. Even just bringing that up. Listen, it's unfortunate the set of events that kind of led up to that. And South Carolina's governor, Nikki Haley, she mentioned that in her comments at the State House this week.
I have to acknowledge the series of events that took place through all of this, because it is the true story of South Carolina. The actions that took place are what will go down in the history books. 9 people took in someone that did not look like them or act like them. And with true love and true faith and true acceptance, they sat and prayed with him for an hour. That love and faith was so strong that it brought grace to their families.
That was audio from the press conference of South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley announcing her signing the bill into legislation that will remove the Confederate flag from the State House down in South Carolina. And you know what's interesting about that, man, is she really acknowledged not just the set of circumstances in terms of the murder of those 9 innocent people at Emmanuel Church down there in South Carolina, but also she acknowledged their faith, the inviting nature that they had, the love, and it was only fitting that their families were able to stand next to her as she signed this bill into legislation.
So I want to say it is with great pride that I am surrounded by members of the Emmanuel 9 family. I want to thank them for taking the time to come. I'm also surrounded by former governors who put their name on a letter, put their support together to say, yes, while we have been a part of South Carolina's past, we want to see this part of South Carolina's future go in the right direction. So I thank everybody that is with me today.
Absolutely, man. Amen. Salute to the people of South Carolina, the leadership down there, the governor, the former governors who can admit, hey, this may have been a mistake to have this flag up this long because of what it meant to so many people and the hate that seems to rally around that flag. So salute to her and salute to the people of South Carolina legislature down there, man. What was DeAndre Jordan thinking this past week with this NBA free agency situation, man? My man was first he said, yo, I'm going with the Mavericks. Then he called Doc Rivers a week later, said, man, I'm having cold feet. Called Blake Griffin, I'm having cold feet. Then it was just pure pandemonium on Wednesday, man, with everybody flying to Houston. Mark Cuban didn't know where DeAndre Jordan lived, trying to find his house, texting his family members. Yo, man. Yo. That's why I love this game. That's why I love the NBA, man. I'm actually thinking about starting an NBA podcast, man. So y'all heard it here first. Y'all keep that in prayer. That might be happening soon, man. Look. And I'm DJ Wado, of course. You are listening to the Wado Radio Show, man. And listen, my homie, man, friend of the show and also a personal friend of mine, Chris Broussard, kind of got into a little Twitter spat this week with Bomani Jones, who also works for ESPN. And typically, obviously, we don't see that type of thing with two ESPN analysts kind of sparring back and forth on Twitter. But what prompted it was Russell Wilson did an interview with a church up in Seattle, and he was talking about his and Sierra's relationship. And he basically said that, they were practicing sexual abstinence, which is obviously a dope thing, which we agree with here. And Bomani Jones went on the TV show that he is on every day. It's called Highly Questionable with Dan Le Batard. And he basically said that, or kind of alluded to the fact that Russell Wilson and Sierra are stupid for trying to portray this lifestyle.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't believe them because I don't think either one of them looks especially stupid, right? That's what I hear in this.
Whoa, let me play that again.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't believe them because I don't think either one of them looks especially stupid, right? That's what I hear in this.
I mean, come on, man. Like, seriously. Like, it's okay to disagree, but to say that they're stupid or they look stupid or to imply that people trying to live that lifestyle are stupid, that's where you're going a little bit over the line. And so Chris Broussard, I guess he saw this live and he tweeted shortly after it aired. He said, Bomani Jones on Highly Questionable regarding Russell/Sierra, you imply people trying to do it Jesus' way by waiting till marriage are stupid. You owe all Bible-believing Christians trying to live as Russell/Sierra are an apology. If you criticize the sex attitudes of any other group, you'd be criticized intensely. Why do you feel free to criticize Christians? Fair point, right? So Bomani responds on Twitter, I believe the underlying premise is flawed and about controlling women as much as anything else. So yes, I think Americans value chastity in a way I find silly, problematic, and ultimately counterproductive. I don't apologize for that. And he goes on to say that thought process isn't exclusive to Christians. It isn't really personal. Basically trying to say whoever believes that, that's not where I stand. Look, Bomani Jones is entitled to his opinion. But here's the bottom line. For many practical reasons, aside from just the biblical mandate, it makes sense to abstain from sex. One, we have so many sexual diseases. We have so many children born out of wedlock. We have a fatherlessness issue, not just in the black community, Hispanic community, but also in the United States in general. Those numbers are going up every year. Teen pregnancies. Abstinence helps to prevent those things. On top of the fact that it's not God's design for sex, as mandated all throughout the Bible. Listen, man, I applaud Chris for standing up and saying what he needed to say to Bomani Jones. And listen, man, I want to encourage all of you listening. Keep people like Chris in prayer. Because those types of issues and things being set on the forefront, he takes a risk every time he does that. Every time he does that, he takes a risk. But it's that important to stand up for the Lord, man.
On the Way Radio Show. On the Way Radio. On the Way Radio Show. Where it's much more than music, it's ministry.